and treated cruelly.
In a number of these cultures, there's a terrible stigma to having a child with an obvious facial deformity. I mean, to put it bluntly, they regard it as a mark of sin, and the parents are very ashamed of these children. I've had I've operated on kids that have been kept in cupboards for 5 or 6 years and never allowed outside the house because the family is so ashamed of them.
Abel's mother, 43-year-old Leah Gastado, lives in a village 200 miles away from her son, Blair.
From around the linings of the brain. In that child, obviously, there's a lot of fluid as well. It would be nice to know how much of it is fluid and how much of it is functioning brain. Obviously, if there's an enormous amount of functioning brain in there, the operation becomes extremely difficult.
For Abel, the process of transformation is only just beginning. After 6 months of further tests, he arrived at Norfolk, Virginia, with the possibility of surgery. And so it is Leah, Abel's mother, who reluctantly accompanies him. The mother and son, it is the start of a journey which will bring them together.
Leah and Abel.
The Operation Smile team are out in full force to welcome their guests.
She looks scared. She's feeling scared.
Dr. Bill McGee is a founding father of Operation Smile. He's already performed 6 similar operations on children. He thinks he can help Abel. Scanner takes slice-by-slice images of Abel's head. They will reveal for the first time whether there is any brain in the cyst. Based on this, doctors will decide whether it is possible to operate. After studying the scans, Bill McGee has decided that even though there is brain in the cyst, he'll go ahead and operate.
You can see that his brain is literally coming out in the space between his eyes. And there's no bone here at all. There's also no bone up in the roof of the eye on the left side, which makes me realize the defect that we have to deal with, because then I know that when we're going in with Dr. Penix, who's the neurosurgeon, and myself, that we have to be careful of that, because the actual tissues of the eye are attached to the tissues of the brain. There's no bone to interface, so we have to be very, very careful lifting those off and separating those. But it also tells me as a surgeon that I've got to find some bone to fill in that gap.
What Bill McGee has to do is no less than build a new face for Abel, giving him a new nose and eye socket.
Do you have a stapler? I just want to staple this up here, so a couple of spots.
After 10 hours, Bill McGee has completed the rebuilding of the bones that will make up Abel's face. He now has the delicate job of repositioning Abel's features over the new structure.
There are certain important landmarks on the nose and on the eyebrow and the eyelid that I have to match up. And the dilemma is that so much of the skin is so stretched and some of the quality of the skin is so poor. So I'm trying to see if I can't advance the left side skin to the right side. Do I have enough skin to come over? I think I do. But then I got to anchor this skin down to tiny little details. After 7 to 8 hours of surgery, there's obviously bound to be some swelling. There's a little bit of distortion. You're not really sure where the bones are going to all settle out and everything. So you have to make, some value judgments here. He's a little 2-year-old that'll probably never remember this, but I think his mom is going to be surprised. Really hundreds of people who have decided that this little child's life was worth their efforts.
When I saw Abel in the ICU, I was shocked. He looked so weak. I lived back with his family in their Filipino village. He is doing remarkably well, both mentally and physically. Perhaps the biggest and most important change in Abel's life has been his relationship with his mother. Abel now lives with Leia, and she is proud of him.
Before the operation, it wasn't his appearance that made me reject him. I was frightened of what would happen to him in the future. I'm no longer scared. Now Abel has a future.
Abel's grandfather was delighted when he saw the transformation in his grandson and in his daughter.
Leah has changed a lot. Now that she's taking care of Abel, I am not angry.
Has changed completely. I am his mother again. I'm so happy. I feel so lucky that Abel was
Esse negócio de hoje termina aqui. Até o próximo programa.